Hello, welcome everyone. Today
I'm
we are here.
we are here. Um,
I'm Maureen Momo Freehill, and this is
and I'm Sinclair Smith.
your beloved brother Sinclair, and we are Art of Union. And you'll find out some more about Art of Union in a moment. We're going to welcome the one more participant into the space, and yeah, welcome. Let's see. Ari, you can be off camera. We're going to just be on camera for now. And then later we'll have our other participants join us on camera too. So thank you for letting us be on camera. And hi, Ari. We're just going to have folks off camera who are witnessing, and then we'll bring you back on. Yeah. So we'll see you in a moment. Okay. So we're going to go through a practice today that is in alignment with the current transit. And not only is the transit of the sun and the earth, which is the 54th and the 53rd gene key, but it's also aligning today with the fourth line of this key. And we can share maybe more about what that means, but the lines really bring into another level of focus. And the fourth line is all about community and breathing together. So, those of us who are here have chosen to be together to breathe in community together. And it also aligns with today a very special conjunction with Venus and Mars. So, it's a unique day all around. And it also happens to be my Mayan galactic dream spell birthday, which is called the White Self Existing Dog. And this morning I got to meet Lucky. Lucky is Sinclair family dog. And I don't know if Lucky can join us. I think Lucky maybe is outside,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna keep the window open.
okay, in
Maybe
case Lucky decides that he would like to grace us with his beautiful white presence.
I'll stop by every now
I
and then.
felt so like my brother was there, like, oh, Lucky.
It was quite a synchronicity, like, the white dog, and oh, my parents actually rescued a white dog just, a few weeks ago. So beautiful. Uh,
So all these things coming together, and mainly I believe that Sinclair will be guiding this practice for the most part, but I'll be chiming in different ways because things just rise up spontaneously through this very loyal, very heart tender dog that I am. And
mm,
I'm just feeling grateful and sweet that you've come and that here we are to practice together today.
mm. Thank you, Momo. And yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Um, I I'm imagining that I see your faces right now as we saw them a little earlier, but we'll meet again in a few minutes anyways. And it was also very natural for us to have me guide a little more today regarding the 54, as it's a very important key for me. It's my north node, and also I have it twice in my Neptune. So it's really an archetype that is, yeah, it means a lot to me. So I invite you to just, settle in your body nicely. You can maybe wiggle a little bit, just feeling this aliveness of just, your arms, and maybe stretching and turning your wrists as well, and smiling and really opening your shoulders and your neck. Oh, you're doing pulling a few faces, to really stretch as well your eyes and your jaw. Ah, and taking a few deeper breaths, letting the body settle. Ah,
This
maybe.
particular key is very oriented to balancing the nervous system, um, the different sides of the body, up and down, and all that. So, if at any time you need to move in order to feel more balanced in your nervous system, don't, yeah, don't hesitate.
Mm, that's something important. Like the whole art of union, how the transmission has been happening through us for the past year is that, we've been basically discovering every week what techniques were calling to be connected with the archetypes and the shadows and the gifts and the cities in all three levels of the archetypes. And so it's also it's very free. Like even though there is like you know, a whole place where we're going to practice there is the shadow and the gift and the city, and we could do this asana, this yoga posture, and this breathing technique, and this meditation. But it's also like there is a huge part of improvisation as well. So just like Momo said, especially today with this key, like if you feel that indeed the spine and the nervous system just want to express
Moment.
themselves like they
Welcome,
do.
Mexico. We're glad you're here. Thank you for being
Hey.
here. Yeah, we're gonna just keep our the guests can have your cameras off for the moment, and then we'll invite you back on a little bit later after as we practice. So we'll just turn your camera off for now. Okay.
And yeah, so we were saying that basically just feel free, like in those forms of Qigong that I've been practicing, where you have those spontaneous movements that happen. This also is part of the practice. Sometimes energy just comes through us, and as you know very well, just expresses itself through us. So even if we are supposed to be doing the cobra, for example, well, it could be a very active cobra. So yeah, let's just find a nice asana, a seated or even standing posture if you are more comfortable standing. And if your eyes want to close for a little moment, you can close them. You can also choose to keep them open. And in that case, a drishti, a gazing point could be a good idea. And then you can just let your eyes basically and your gaze turn inwards. And connecting also to the entire family, the Sangha, the community of the Jinkies, with the Golden Path also that just began, and just feeling the connection with the whole ocean of souls and energy bodies, and also the physical bodies of all the participants all over the world that have been connecting with this transmission, and your own self, very own physical body, your own energy body, in this deepest part of yourself. You can maybe picture it somewhere, or maybe it's actually nowhere. It's up to you. Just connect to the innermost, deepest part of yourself. Going as deep as you can. And while connecting to this, some people call it the soul, the Atman. You call it, or you don't call it. It doesn't matter. But from this place, we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths and see where they take you. Let your consciousness travel, ride, surf on those 3 breaths. You may choose to exhale with a little sound or in silence. You can breathe through the nose or the mouth. You are free. Just do what is natural to you. Make sure to relax your face and your jaw a little more on the last one. Totally relaxed. The face absolutely relaxed. now bring your attention back to us, just our little Zoom people. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, just feeling this energy of gratitude into our current field of connection for these few, those first moments of opening art of union with the people, with everyone. Till now, it was, just the two of us. So it's very, very, yeah, big for us to actually share that, to open that. So thank you again so much for being here. It's a very special moment for us.
So I'd like to share some information about the 54 and how it lives in the nonverbal body. Because a lot of times when we contemplate the gene keys and human design, it's a very verbal form. There are a lot of words about it. For example, this is the path of aspiration that takes us from the shadow of greed to the city of ascension. And yet, how and what does that feel in our experience, in our sensuality? And one of the things that it sensually feels is this communion between opposites, between the spirit or the essence or the light body and the physical body, the prana and the form, the mana, the mater, the mother. And there is a beautiful mudra that Richard came to in this one, which is this mudra where we have this very clear pointer finger. It can be either your left or your right, whichever feels like you really want to have a strength of that yang energy, that we can call it also lingam, the force, the rising force, the potency of this energy. And then the holding of that in the matter with a hug of love. And so feeling the communion and the connection between the right and left sides of your body, between the spirit and the form, the aspiration or the breath, inspiration, aspiration, yeah, and the physical material, the sensation of the body. And in the Gene Keys, my particular incarnation cross is called the cross of incarnation. So most of what I want to transmit, what I am here for, is to assist us to really feel these things in our physicality and to feel how that amazing snake of our Kundalini spine, the right and left, Ida Pingala, come together in that central channel, the Shushumna, yet it's not just about this up-down vertical world. It's also about our horizontal interplay with the material world, with one another, with our day-to-day life and that experience. So hopefully
Fireworks.
this can help. Hopefully this can help. We have fireworks, but those fireworks, that lightning, that thunder that is above the lake gets grounded and resonance into a sustainment of the ripples that goes deeper and deeper into the form. We don't just pow, into this, which Facebook taught us about energy and how to keep it simple, keep it small, keep it humble, keep it in the body.
I like to honor as well the sources, of all this wisdom. You can close your eyes again, just connect also to how actually all of these transmissions came into the world. And especially the ancient Chinese, if you connect just with this 54th archetype and marrying maiden, and more and more I enjoy working as well with just the I Ching and the original names. And so this one can sound a little funny for many people, but I love also to just twist it around, with the lingam and the yoni and the yoni and the lingam. And so for a male, that would be also interesting, how also many, many men during all epochs, during all times, have been also finding their way into society and trying to go higher in the hierarchy and in social circles by marrying as well the right woman, or when it was arranged or anything, and hopefully honoring how nowadays, at least in many countries, but obviously not everywhere in the world, this is also something that we don't have to go through for most of us. But this marrying maiden, I'm just going to close my window, I believe. It's a bit too much. But it's beautiful. It's like I'm in Mauritius right now, and they love their fireworks. So we learned that for the whole month of January, actually, people will be firing fireworks. But
Huh.
anyways, to
On the
finish
opposite
on,
side of the dynamism of the 53, which is
yeah.
fit the 4th of July for the United States, which is interesting balance of the
And
side.
so to come,
In any case,
sorry, and so to come back to this marrying maiden and the energy, whether it's male or female that wants to rise, this is like for me a very important contemplation. So I invite you for about 60 seconds to just dive with your consciousness into the actual field of the archetype. So you can relax your body as much as possible, whether your face, your jaw, your arms, try to find a place for your hands and your arms that enables your shoulders to relax 100%. And your legs, if it is 100%, then good for you, but just the minimum, the bare minimum to relax also your lower body. And just tap into this 54th energy, this archetype, just the field permeating everything. You may choose on the last 10, 20 seconds to also dive into the ocean of neutrinos through you, through the earth, through all the babies that are being born every second. About 3 babies, 4 babies per second right now, being born with this energy as a predominant feature. 10 last seconds. Enjoy. Try and dive as deep as you can into this energy. Ascension.
bringing meaning to the matter, recognizing that there is a capacity of the human to transcend beyond and include all of these needs that we have in the material world. And there is a capacity for this greedy force to bow to the true divine essence of aspiration and ascension.
Hmm.
So may we bow into our practice.
And if you happen to have it in your profile and you know which planets are actually activating this 54, you can also choose to connect to them while you practice the asanas, the postures, or the different techniques we'll be doing together. So for me, it will be Neptune, North Node. You may take the time to take a look, of course, at your profile if you like. This is another insight coming from Art of Union, is this importance of connecting while you do the physical practices, and whether it's the breathing, the meditation, or any posture to the actual planets that are activating things within your profile. And so when the sun is actually activating it in the current transit, this is just like creating a very, very powerful field that I can feel I've been feeling for the last few days. So yeah, enjoy if it's the case for you as well.
Also,
Um,
which is that today, 54.4, this line, um, is called by Ra and the lineage of human design the most mystical of all the lines and keys. And the reason for that is that every one of the lines and the keys has a exalted and a detrimental, so like a positive energy and a detrimental energy related to it, like a shadow and a gift. And this particular one is neutral. It brings the spirit and the matter so intimately together that there was no way for them to choose a positive or a negative. So perhaps in your practice also contemplating that.
ah, so our dear friend coming from the dream arc is actually the cobra. The cobra has the fear key. That's the way we call them in the dream arc. So in yoga, it's a very, very well-known posture, which is usually on your belly. And Thibaut wrote something in the chat.
Claire,
Oh,
is your cat?
excellent. Beautiful, brother. Your personality Neptune, excellent. 54.1. Yeah, we can contemplate that at the end.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And is your microphone on the high there?
Microphone?
Is your microphone on? You had mentioned that. Huh?
Not anymore, unfortunately, but
Oh,
can you hear me now?
oh, it's not as easy, but just speak up. Thank you.
All right, so I'll just speak up indeed. And
Maybe
if it's not,
camera down just a wee bit so we can see you. There we go. Perfect. Okay.
yeah, so the good old Bhujangasana in Sanskrit, the cobra, just lying down and always love to, stretch the legs and really make them as long as possible, pointing the toes, and you can choose to touch your toes together, both the feet together or to keep them apart. If you're more comfortable doing things differently than what we suggest, please do as well. Like there is nothing is compulsory and everything is flexible. So you can begin with the forehead touching the floor, with the hands on both sides of the chest. And just enjoy your breathing there. Just breathe very deep into your belly and into your chest and see where your breath actually goes, where it expands in your lower back, in your perineum, higher in your chest. And just take a few breaths, like the snake is sleeping, it's the sleeping cobra for the moment. So just the forehead on the floor. And now you can begin to, awaken a little bit your shoulders, just moving a little bit the arms, just the shoulders and the arms. And the cobra is actually awakening now, it's waking up. So very gently you can roll your head up, just raise your head and let it go down again. Now it's a bit of a lazy cobra. It just wants to go back to resting like that. And again, it raises up, but a little higher now. It's curious. Oh, what's going on around me? Yeah, nothing. So I'll just go back down. And you can do that a few times. We'll do that in silence for a little bit. Just very gently raising your head, maybe your chest, but not higher than your chest for the moment. And not really using your hands on or your arms, just using the power of the muscles of your back, actually. And now you're going to also try to do that in a sequence. So first, focus on your neck. Just raise your head. And then you can focus on your upper back and then the middle back. Try to do also when you relax and the cobra goes back down, also step by step. And then the next one, you can now choose to go higher. You can choose to go a little higher and also to make use of your hands.
Most important for me is this feeling that the cobra is equally grounding and pressing down and resting and connecting with the ground as it is coming up. It needs an equal connection as deep or deeper into breathing with the earth as it is rising into the space or the higher level.
Ah, absolutely. And every time you go back down, can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is also, it's not the same cobra that goes down. Once you have activated your spine and your arms, and then you relax again. Every time, of course, we are different. The cobra has evolved a little bit. So to feel also when you relax, how the energy is now moving in your spine, in your head.
I'm feeling
And
it in my tongue, like the cobra tongue.
so again, you can play with your shoulders, with your arms to open a little bit on the side. And you can also choose to do a nice. And for those of you who are flexible enough, you can also choose to do a bigger cobra, like raising almost like a downward dog, but with the legs relaxed. But be careful with your back. It can be very intense. So either a small cobra or a bigger cobra.
Sinclair, do you activate your tailbone here at all, or do you just notice? Is there any kind of um, lock or awakening at the base of the perineum or the tail? Or
Yeah,
is it relaxed or is it activated or both?
so for me, it comes very naturally that it is activated. When you've been practicing for a long time, often the bond has happened by themselves, but it can also be equally interesting to actually relax a little bit more also, all the area of the tailbone. For
Paying
a long
attention
time,
to those distinctions, and also if you do need now to lead your tailbone back, because
and come into it, either a child or just kneeling posture, and take the time to feel what just happened. So the cobra, when we open on the bandhas and the use of the perineum, for example, that would be a deeper practice to actually activate it when you raise the cobra, for example.
yeah, the actual location of this 54th gate is in the tail, in the root. So you may be feeling that waking up.
And and during the pauses, you can really let loose and do any movement you like, just really basically distributing the energy that was built in the cobra in all areas of your body. With so much gentleness, so much love, just like caring for each and every one of your joints and your cells and
Oh,
your muscles.
we have one more guest coming. Go ahead and just see.
Yeah, and you can take another few moments, maybe sitting or kneeling, as you prefer. If you're comfortable or you need to lie down for a minute, you can also just to really feel what just happened and
Also
take.
use a little bit of a, if it's uncomfortable for you to sit right on the floor, you can use a pillow or a zafu of some kind.
Or even a chair. Feel free, of course, to really, that's something I always struggle with my students, and like I was the same for so many years. I didn't want to sit on a chair, but sometimes it is so much nicer. And then you can really focus and enjoy your practice. So please, by all means, take a chair. This is a very valid yogic posture, just sitting on a chair, but with the feet right under the knees and the spine not against the chair if possible. Not slouching, of course. And just enjoy the after effects, the vibrations, the resonance of the cobra, Bhujangasana. And the asanas, the postures, are, of course, in and of themselves archetypes as well. So we have the connection with the dream arc, with the gene keys, with human design, but the yogic techniques themselves, whether it's from China, India, or any other part of the world, also deserve our honoring, our reverence. So I invite you for 30 seconds to just connect into the energy and the thousands and the thousands and the hundreds of thousands of people that have been practicing this posture through the ages. From the little kid, just a few years old, was just doing the cobra naturally, to the yogi of the Himalayas, practicing with this deep, deep awareness and connection, fully connected to Brahman, one with the divine, through the cobra, doorways into the divine. Any technique can be. And would like today to honor also our sisters and brothers from any tradition, including the Sufis, and for this aspiration, the Sufi circles, which we also find, of course, in Kundalini yoga. So just, those gentle movements of the spine to begin with. Again, relaxing your face. Make sure to really connect to your jaw, to your eyes, and just relax. Relax your face. And
The
observe.
structures of the spine of the central channel, as we're doing the circles, you might be attending to the lowest center, your base, womb or hara chakra, and your heart center in along that central channel, and your center of your head, and how they relate with one another. And also how the sense of being, hugged into the body by like the fascia and the body all hugging the bones, hugging the spine. And that hug makes it like want to light up and breathe even more and expand even more. So there's this relationship between this like kind of hugging in or whole or like containment of the form and the expansion of the spirit as we explore the circles of the Sufi circles. We have one more guest. Welcome, Bianca. We're just keeping our cameras off for now, except for Sinclair and I as we practice, and then we'll have, in about 10 minutes, we'll probably open up to everyone to just share how this practice has been. We have one more asana practice and then some pranayama that we'll close with, and we'll
And the beauty as well that I've been experimenting with is, to just let the circles begin from the different, of course, floors, the different areas of your spine. So you can do the very wide ones, of course, or choose to keep the lowest part immobile and then begin with the middle of your spine. And this is really beautiful as well because you're going to activate also the chakras that are directly connected to the region of the spine that you choose to begin the circles from. And then you can carry on also with just the neck, you know, the classic thing of just moving your head. And maybe letting your mouth also open, breathing very freely, just natural, conscious breathing through the mouth, if you like, and letting naturally the circles emanate from one area of the spine or another, or all of them. And it can be very, you know, methodic, and you choose, I'm counting, I'm doing 5 that way, and then 5 the other way. This is great. Or it can be much more freestyle now, and also just, you know, inviting more than just circles, just letting your spine express itself, just enjoying this aspiration and this ascension. And not just raising, and that's a debate we Qigong people and yoga people have been having for a long time. And I love Mantak Chia's outlook. I actually had a short conversation with him on Instagram through comments, you know. And I was like, no, but Kundalini is not just a syndrome. It's also a beautiful way of life and a practice, blah, blah, blah. And he was, yeah, he was okay with that. But then it's true that there are also syndromes and people that have problems with the Kundalini. And that's why today we wanted also to bring not just the raising of energy, but also 2 things. First, the microcosmic orbit, you know, just you raise, all right, that's good, but then let it go back down the front of the body, the 2 meridians, governor and conception. So you just let it flow now, back of the body, front of the body. And I love to use my fingers. The fingers are very, of course, powerful electromagnetic wands. So you can just direct the flow of energy with the tip of your fingers to let it circulate on your microcosmic orbit. And I love, you know, in the Jewish tradition also you see, you know, the way people just go back and forth like that. And I had a Qigong teacher, he said, oh, but that's natural. You know, the reason why they do that is just to actually make the energy move on the microcosmic orbit. So you can also very freely let your spine move while you focus on those 2 meridians.
So now we're really engaging with the center, the right, the left, the front, the back, all directions of this, the up, the down, the full sphere of your light body as it is integrating and communing and breathing with your physical body. And it may very well be that you may feel, you know, just notice if there's any places that feel tight or painful or constricted or like they don't want to breathe, they want to be in the darkness, they want to be, you know, like tense or um, protected. And just noticing that any parts of your body that do feel light and available and full of ease and gentle can just caress or surround or companion those parts. Like for me, it's right around the area where I had my strongest energy of my shingles last week. And it's in my sacral area. And it's like it's on fire right now. And so I'm also really giving that fire a little bit of dampening, a little bit of gentle moisture and tenderness. If you have that going on, you might have it around the base of your spine. Some people who have this gene key, yesterday I was in a group where one of the clients, the people there noticed that that morning she woke up and her tailbone was like on fire and it was hurting. And then she didn't know that we were in this transit. So many times, this is not only personal, it's a collective experience of how the whole world is is breathing with this. And we certainly are seeing in the world a lot of, greedy, aggressive activities, a lot of hot points, on the planet. And she, the mama, wants to breathe with gentleness, with us, with water, that amniotic fluid. I mean, well, there's the amniotic fluid too, but also the cerebrospinal fluid, the softening, the bathing.
Yeah. And it was beautiful that there was this connection through the fourth line to community, as we also have the activation for all of us of the actual channel of community, as Ra named it, connecting the solar plexus into the heart. So I invite you to actually place your hands, one on your belly and one on your heart, or the center of your chest. Doesn't have to be the physical heart. Could be, as you wish. You can also try placing your other hand on the actual heart. But through the center of the chest, I find that you connect both to the G center and also to the actual heart center of human design. So this is up to you. It's your feeling, your body. Just breathe deeply, connecting to your two hands. Those two other beautiful archetypes. The family, the clan, the ancient Chinese named it. And Richard, what came to him was tenderness, tenderness. The family, the
Seven,
clan.
37 if you need a number.
37, yeah.
Also the dog. It's also the dog. So the family dog is a very big part of this. Yeah. In the heart.
So that's,
See heart, we also
yeah.
say will center in human design.
So solar plexus, if I remember well, and then our divine will. And I think it's acceptance, right? I think I must double check, but
Yeah,
uh,
it's the channel is exhaustion.
oh, deliverance. Sorry, the ancient Chinese name. So it's the family and deliverance,
Hmm.
and that is
It's the 40
the,
for people.
yeah. We can take just a few seconds, just connect to this, deliverance and the family and the clan. It's also the Chinese. For them, it was the clan and the family. Deliverance, the channel connecting both deliverance and family into the community channel.
And if
Divine will and tenderness.
divine will and tenderness. If we have a fourth line anywhere in our um, profiles, the fourth line wound is this wound of feeling rejected, like that you don't belong or you can't belong in family or in community or in connection and communion. And it's healed by the breath gently. It's healed with gentleness, with tenderness, with that sense of divine relaxation, which is the 40. The 40 is divine relaxation.
And one of the important insights also that we've had through the practice during the whole year of receiving this transmission as well was that when you do the human design breath work, it's important not to overcharge the channels that are already being activated by planets. On the contrary, it's all about redistributing the prana that is actually moving through these nadis for all of us into the whole rest of your energy body. So this is what I invite you to do now, just this energy of community. And however you position yourself, whatever this triggers, whatever this opens up inside of you when you hear the word, family, clan, deliverance, community, the tenderness and the divine will, all of that. And also, please keep the connection physically. Just go inside, deep, deep into your physical and your energy body, the heart and the solar plexus. And it's not just the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the entire nervous system as well in human design. So please connect very, very deeply to your entire nervous system and its relationship to your physical heart. And let this energy of community and this channel activated naturally by the cosmos bring prana to all the rest of your energy body, of your life, of your physical body. So breathe from the heart and the nervous system and take this energy, bring it, offer it to everything else.
Feeling how this amazing energy is truly the energy of service, of humble, divinely devotional service. Service for the benefit of the whole, dedicated to be offered exactly where and how it is most needed, without exception. That when we find the meaning in the matter, the meaning of our lives, the purpose is not a selfish one. It's one of being an offering.
Offering this infinite compassion, like metta bhavana, just this loving kindness to all the people all over the world right now, just like us, with this activation and all the challenges, because I can relate to that big time, the family and the deliverance and the community and all of what that raises for all of us, whether very consciously and very actively through events and interactions and like difficult energies, or also in a much more subtle way for many people, just very unconscious way, still activated, as always, of course, activated within the realm of the entire rest of your body graph, of your prana, of your energies and the events of your life. So just a few seconds, very, very deep connection to all our fellow beings, whether seen, visible, or invisible, seen or unseen.
Human and other than human, all the nature beings of the elements of water, the light, this lake below, and the thunder strikes it and it ripples out like it does here through the air, through the earth, through all the creatures. We include all the animals, the insects, the birds that fly, and all the beings of our solar system, of our star system, and the microcosm of that in our physiology. All the way to the DNA. Knowing that this is truly influencing, transmuting, and transforming our role as humans.
Giving great thanks to all the beings that are with us today, all your spiritual teams, angels, your guides, beings of the pure light and the holy higher worlds. Thank you.
Mm. Hmm. Thank you. Namaste. Arigato. Merci. Gracias. So grateful for this opportunity to share. And we want to invite you, if you like, you could turn your camera back on. And we'd love to hear how that is, how it was, how you are, how is all of this transit and this capacity to bring it into the form and the physiology and the practice. How is that feeling for you now? Hi, Thibaut. Maybe you can, whoever wants to, can share their name or where they are, and maybe something about today for you. Thank you. We also have, I believe, we have Etsuko, Lee. Welcome back.
Yeah, I forgot to say Maltiosh, Mama. Thank you. Uh, Beautiful, really. Genuinely filled with excitement. It's my first time joining your practice, and yeah, talk of a synthesis. There was a lot. There was a lot happening there. So yeah, Thibaut here, checking in from Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. I might do a little promo at the end of this call or something. And yeah, I really loved it. Like, there's so many moments where just your voices, your transmission was just like landing. Because of course, like, you know, having been on the path for a minute too, and being with the Gene Keys and the human design a lot, I just really love the way just all these concepts just make their way into the body, and really enjoyed, like, I was very, very aware of the energy, especially in the beginning with the cobra, just really feeling into my spine and just like, wow, okay, yeah, just remembering how much how how much of energy beings we are, and how much just through this awareness and movement and subtlety we can tap into these knots and just allow it to circulate. And yeah, yeah, I definitely see myself be way more attuned to this key whenever I do a cobra pose in a yoga practice from now on, or just same with those Sufi swells. So it's just really nice, like, you know, bridging physical and conceptual, just having them like weave like that. So yeah, extremely excited. I'll share more in the context of our collaboration, but I'm delighted, and I think, yeah, this practice is lit. Let's get it out there. Awesome. That's me checked in. Thank you so much.
You go. Well, it's so great to have you with us today. Lee, do you want to share anything about how that was? Thank you.
So can you hear me? Okay, I think, as you saw, my internet connection failed at one stage, so I had to come back in. So I just want to make sure that it's sounding good. Yeah, so I actually would like to echo a lot of what Thibaut was saying. I definitely felt a lot of that. I'm really glad I joined. It has helped. I've actually felt very down in 54.4. So, and I also battled with doing the 12 nights. So I've been feeling quite tight, resistant, not 100% sure what it's all about. But so this was really nice. And yeah, so echoing what Tibor said, and then just in addition, my internet went off in the middle of Cobra. So when I was sitting towards the end, I thought, let me go back into a bit more Cobra, seeing I missed it. And yeah, I was wanting to do movements of the Cobra with my hands. And suddenly I came to pictures of videos of seedlings growing. And it just came to me that the movement of the Cobra, often also when, that sort of old concept of the Cobra coming out of the basket with the pipe playing and it moving. So baby plants do that as well. So it's this time-lapse photography, and you get a little seedling, and the seedling doesn't grow straight up. It also does. So just that movement was so lovely. And it was bringing in that plant as well. You have talked about all the beings and all of nature, but just that came to me as well, with little plants moving very much like a cobra or a snake or whatever. And to me, that was just really beautiful. So thanks very much. It was really nice.
Thank you, Lee. I love that. I know that feeling. So yesterday when we were contemplating it in the open call, some people had their dogs, other people had their cats with them. And there was we were seeing the dogs and cats like on these like warm pavement or in the sunshine spot, and just like, oh, like kind of rubbing and going back and forth. Yeah, they don't, none of us really move in straight lines. We can imagine and sort of pretend that there's such a thing. But yeah, it's like you say, that's beautiful. I love that. And you're a biologist. I hope it's okay that we say so, that recognizing the plant beings have so much, just like the animal beings, to teach us about these energies and these archetypes. Yeah, so that's why we also love to practice and do this in the outdoors, with nature. It's like beyond the beyond of teachers and influences that we can engage with when we can be outside, and then also when we can be physically together. It's like, what's the word, exponential, because we can even feel even more our different auras and bodies, and we can move into actually physical contact as well, which for some people, if it's comfortable, can be really, really helpful, especially when there are places that are heavier and, let's say, depressed. That is something that even Richard talks about with this key that can happen in the shadow side. It's not always about being agitated or that kind of greed. It's the other side is unambitious, like sort of dulled down to the point of depression. And I love that word, depressed. It asks us for that. And that kind of companioning of those places that have not been able to rest, that have not been able to really be held and take those timeouts, those beautiful sacred pauses. Yeah, and I love the baby plant. Like if you pressed a baby plant or a baby chick to grow, they would die. Same thing about, oh, and one more thing, when we're on our bellies, that's a whole developmental cycle of the human being. There's a time when that's all we can do is lie there, and it's a big deal to lift our head up. And we don't lift our head up, actually. There is no lifting of the head. I've worked a lot with developmental movement specialists, and what they say is that it comes from a deep relaxation and a surrender to the ground. And then out of that, there's a spontaneous response that comes from the earth, and literally the baby like is risen. It's It's relaxed. It's not at all forced.
Mm.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. So it's just so beautiful to share, with you guys.
Cool.
Thank you for
This
being
is our
here.
first time.
Because it's like we've been like tripping for over a year with like amazing, just stuff pouring through us, just like blah 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 blah, and just and now it feels so good.
For
And
sure.
it's the beauty, and the paradox of Art of Union, which is really beautiful that you mentioned at the beginning, Momo. It's like, so of course it's the somatic and the body and everything, but the great joy also of practicing and also authorizing oneself to also have fun with the mind. And not always like in yoga, you will say, no, you have to be 100% focused, ekagra, it's like 100%, or nirodha, no thoughts. You're just so very focused on your practice, your asana and your breathing, which is great. I love to also practice that way. But for most people, this is like just so hectic. And it takes decades for most people to reach just a few 20, 30 minutes of silence, continuous silence while you're doing the actual practices. So just having fun with the mind and the imagination while you do the asanas and the pranayama is just, a blessing. So, yeah.
Well, we're coming. We need to close this because we could just go on all day. We want to share that in the next year, 2026, we are going to be having times where we come together in person and practice this. And so if we are graced to be in your town, I've been doing it here in Colorado, and I'll be doing it on the 17th of January in Lyons, Colorado. And we are also looking at some other journeys that we'll be taking soon. That's why Thibaut is here. We met Thibaut through the Gene Keys, and he lives in Guatemala, Lake Atitlan, and we are working on a project with him where we're going to be offering this as a kind of a retreat. And so I don't know if you want to share anything about what it's like to live there at Lake Atichilan. Thibaut, we are gonna.
I'll just show you what it like, just the energy there of this lake. And yeah, it's definitely a blessing and very powerful lands, because this used to be essentially a giant volcano which massively blew up and created a huge caldera thousands of years ago. And so there's a very strong fire water energy, because there's this lake, so it's a very powerful vortex here for personal growth and transformation. And the Mayans have really left their mark here with their magic and their lineage and their transmission. And now there's a bunch of expats, mostly very conscious oriented beings who love somatic practices. So we end up here having a really, really sweet community of human beings who just love to dance and to grow, and who are pretty advanced isn't the word, but used to this shadow work. And so there's just it's like a big basin of respect and freedom, where everybody knows that we're all growing, and that welcomes all kinds of practices from all over the world. So I'm extremely excited to welcome, well, first of all, my very, very dear friend Sinclair here at the lake, and Momo, and just like, yeah. It was also my first time doing a yoga class, essentially, with Sinclair, so I had no idea, what his transmission felt like. But anyway, I have lots of friends here, and I'm really looking forward to just merge those worlds and like bring this synarchy alive through our bodies. And I go dancing every Sunday. I danced 6 days a week last week, and just the thought of bringing my friends together with the transmission that's been so dear to me in those places that I just dance my ass off every weekend. And we're going to be celebrating my birthday on the 55th. Jinky, 22nd of February. Sounds like a... Yeah. Don't know if it's a good promo pitch, but you're welcome. It's going to be very affordable. Hop on that plane. Direct flights from quite a few places in the USA, so it'll all be out soon, hopefully, in a beautiful landing page, and you'll know more about that. Is that good?
Thank you so much for being here and for
Thank
your
you.
invitation. And yeah, we are really grateful to have this starting to percolate in all the different ways that it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Etsuko. Thank you, Thibaut. And Ari left at some point, but yeah. And to also all the people that are going to be watching at some different times. Welcome, and so happy to connect with you as well. Now,
We'll see you next time. We're probably going to do this every week for a while. We'll see how it goes. It probably will not be on Facebook.
Nope. No.
But I don't think so.
Just wanted to thank you, Momo and Sinclair and everybody here. I'm not too sure about the recording, so I'm sorry I hesitate to put my camera up. But yeah, I totally appreciate what you're doing, and I just want to send all my blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Etsuko. All right. Well, we'll be seeing you soon, and have a good day.
Namaste. Goodbye.
Bye.